Hi students, in this tutorial we are going to discuss mainly about charts and how we can create a chart. So let's get straight into the topic, and charts basically resides in the insert tab. So we click on insert, and then we see a bunch of options here. We can see tables, illustrations, charts, sparklines, filters. So what we are interested in is in this particular area where the charts are seated. It might be a little bit different in 2007 and 2013, 2016 because I'm using 2010. It doesn't matter, but our main objective is to learn about charts. So once I select a particular chart over here, you have cone charts, cylindricals, pyramids, and column wise. You go to line, you have 2D lines and 3D lines, you have a pie chart, you have a horizontal bar charts, and you have area, you have a scatter chart. These charts are generally used for various purposes, but right now we are bothered about 2D columns. So once I click this clustered column chart, uh, what will happen is that the Excel itself will pull out some data and represent it as a chart. You see here. Now here is quite a lot of data which cannot be interpreted, so what we can do is we can select, just give me a second. I'll take this here and make it a little bit big. Let's make it big so that you can understand things better. Okay, so what this thing will do here is we don't want the initialized representation which Excel gives us. So we're going to click on a blank space here, somewhere here or wherever you choose, and we are going to click on select data. Now we can see that there are a lot of data over here, so I'm going to remove everything and make it a blank slate. All right, here you go. So the slate is blank. Click on OK, and I will bring it up a little bit. Now I'm not going to use all the data over here. Just for tutorial purposes, I'm just going to use some of it just to show you how you can represent charts in a way. Okay, first let me explain you what is a horizontal axis and a vertical axis. So let us add some data and let us explain. We'll go to select and we'll click on add. So I am interested in English, so this is the series name, so I will place it as English, and the series value I will take till 6 students here for the moment and for the purpose of this tutorial. But in your case, you're going to select everything, okay, the total English column, whatever is there. Okay, click on OK, and we have this chart. Okay, now before we head over to do something else, we're going to talk about horizontal axis and vertical axis. This vertical axis shows you the marks obtained by a person. Okay, and this axis is split into 20 point range. So it's 0 to 20. 20 plus 20 is 40, 40 plus 20 is 60, 60 plus 20 is 80, 80 plus 20 is 100, 120 is 120. And the this is the vertical axis and this is the horizontal axis. The horizontal axis actually represents the marks for what, on basis of what. So I'm going to change this 1 2 3 4 5 6 to student's name so that we understand that these marks are obtained by the students, by those respective students. Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to head over to horizontal category axis labels and we're going to edit it. Since I have taken 6 students, so I will choose from student 1 to student 6. You see the name changes here, and click on OK. So now we know that the students have got some marks which is not understandable as of the moment. Okay, so the students have got certain marks in English which is not understandable at the moment, but give it a second and stay with me here. I will add another column. Let's say I want to see the comparison between physics and English probably. So I will select the series name as English, physics, and get the series value as here. Okay, Now you see you have the series value. So click on OK, and then I will click on OK again. But then wait, since the chart has been done, we can see three things. We can see that if I increase this and hide the table behind, okay, now I don't know what marks or what is the mark the student has received exactly. Okay, so how do we know this? Now there's something called a data label. And the data label helps you to understand the marks what the student has received. In this case, I'm selecting physics as a data label, right click, and I will click on add data labels. Now see, you have the marks. Now similarly, I will left click and select, and then right click and select add data labels, and I see the marks in English. Now this chart represents the English versus physics marks comparison. So I can see that student 5 is strong in English but weak in physics probably. Student 4 is a little bit strong in physics and weak in English. So this is how you determine how much what is the effect of the chart and what it signifies. So I will take this chart and put it aside because I want to make something different. I want to make it a little bit small and put it aside here. Now I want to show you how we can use pie charts, but before that I want you guys to know that you can change the you can change the charts in a different way. You can change the layouts, the plot area, you can do a lot of formatting options here, and we can create a legend probably at the right. We can create a data center which is inside end, so that comes to the inner part of the bars. Now we can also include a data table so that it helps you to understand what data we are talking about. Okay, because color representations are always given here, so you don't have to worry about it. Now we can format the grid lines and format the overall chart as such. Then we can fill the shape with some color probably. This looks pretty okay. I'll take it as green. Okay, and the outline color as something brighter. Okay, looks pretty good. So if I click outside, you can see a chart which looks pretty good for tutorial purposes. Anyways, it all depends on how you modify and how you manage to create your own layout. That totally depends on you. So now we are going to discuss more about how we can change the color of these. So I can go to format, I can go to the design, and then I can select a lot of designs. I can click here, it gives me another design. It gives me a bulgy design, looks pretty good. Okay, so we can go ahead and go for a format selections. You can go for filling the chart, or border colors, border style, shadows, soft edges, 3Ds. Now what we are bothered about is this axis line. So we need to change this axis because it's split into 20. So I don't want to I don't want this to be split into 20. I want this to be split into 10 each. So so I'll right click on this particular vertical axis and click on format axis, and then you see the axis option comes up, which has minimum, maximum, major units, minor units, etc. So our botheration stands to the major unit, which is fixed at 20. I will change it to 5. Okay, now we can see nobody has crossed 100. Of course you don't cross 100 in an exam, right? So the maximum would be You see it changes to 5 each. So I will go to 100 because there's a lot of space over here which we need to change. So I'm going to select here, and you see the 100 comes up. Okay, now if you want values in reverse order, you don't need to, because let's say you want to have uh, in reverse order, it will show like this. Okay, I don't want this because it creates a lot of confusion. So I want it to be as usual as it can be. So I'll just increase this chart level area. Okay, so close this, right click here, and I'm sorry, right click on the axis and go to the axis again. Now I'm going to put it to 10 because it's covering a lot of space. So now you see all the thing looks much more clean. Now sometimes it so happens that you don't want the grid lines behind the chart to be shown, because it creates a lot of problems. But I would recommend you to keep it because it helps you to understand better when you're actually into a decisive role. So that's about it. So I'll just go out from here, and I don't like this color because I just changed the color to show you what you can do. So I'm going to place this. It looks much more brighter. Okay, here you go. It looks much more brighter and easier to understand now. So we have this chart. Now we want to make a pie chart because we want to understand that these 6 students and their total marks which they have received here, what would it look like in a representation of a pie. So as we know that pie charts are 360, a circle is 360 degrees. So I'll take a 2D pie. Okay, and we're going to select this as a pie chart. Keep it on top of this for now because we need to change some things. So select the data. Okay, now I'm going to remove all the series and I'm going to add total marks here. I'm going to type in, because the reason why I'm typing it is because total marks is merged and centered over here, so I don't want this to create a confusion. So always be sure of what you're doing. So total marks, and the series value would come to 6 rows. Okay, and here you go, you have a split. All right, so if you hover over all these colors, you can see the total marks, how it is distributed. It's like value is 620, it covers 18%, it has 16%. So you don't have to do much of a calculation because the charts will automatically, the Excel will automatically calculate for you. But be sure that whatever marks you are placing to follow the same procedure what we are doing. Click on OK, and for the horizontal axis labels, we are going to select 6 students here and click on OK. So I have blue as student 1, red as student 2, then it's going in a clockwise direction. I'll click on OK, and maybe I'll select this and add data labels here. Looks much better. So the data labels you can select all together, go to home tab and increase their fonts a little bit so that people can understand. So this is the way you can make another chart for total marks and keep it aside to understand better. So this is all about charts, and you can also play around with a lot of design options. You can have 16%, so you can have 2 charts if you wish to. You can show one as the percentage and the other control. You can select this chart, control C and then control V, and you have another chart over here. And then you can go to design and select the name of the students, the area of the students, or you can select like like this. Okay, so you can have one more chart here. So what is the percentage of the student they are covering a particular circular area. Okay, now you can have another chart, control V, and then come over here and place it over here, maybe. Control C, control V. Okay, so place it over here, maybe. All right, so now we can take this, go to design, and then we can select this. Now it looks much better. So total marks, what does it contain? Okay, now the other way you can do it is, if you're using percentages, so you need to have one chart relevant to this chart which actually shows the figures. So I don't want this to be a percentage. I want to go to data labels, and I will right click and go to data labels and select values. Okay, and click on close and increase the font a little bit. It's 10, so I'm taking it as 18. Make the chart a little bit bigger for you to understand. So you have this chart and you have this chart, which is of the same data selection, but both the charts are showing you different things. And for the moment, we don't need this chart. We're going to delete it. So this is all about charts. Give it a try, and if you have any comments, you can leave the comments below. And if you have any new findings, let us know. We are ready to help you out. You have doubts, ask us. We will help you in doubts as well. So this is Banerjee here with you. Feel share to share, subscribe, like my channel, whatever it is, and ask me a lot of questions because I love answering questions. So even if I don't know, I will do some research, which helps me actually to make myself better. So have a nice day, all of you, and be safe, be sure, help others, love everyone, and love yourself too. Okay, thank you.